Have you ever wondered how a hairdresser breaks down a haircut technically? Well, this is how we do it, my friends, and watch me as I take 10 haircuts from 10 different hairstylists from all over the planet and break them down. And this is how we're doing it right now because reels move quick. There's a lot of edits in it, but this is it live. This is how it happens. So here we go. We've got Holly Girl. What is it? Holly Girl does hair. This girl's style and aesthetic, I think is dope. I think some of us with all of these videos are going to love what the hairdressers are doing. Some of us are going to be like, yo, that's not my style. Some of us are going to be like, oh, I don't like bangs. Some of us are going to be like, I don't like short haircuts. I love short haircuts. I love bangs. You know, it's not about the personal style. It's about how a hairdresser breaks down a haircut. And if you've never heard this before, it sounds a little bit like Sports Center. So here we go. I'm already laughing. This is going to be funny. Let's go, Holly. What do you got? Okay.
This is my friend.
She's got a diagonal back section. She's using forward graduation with 0 degrees of elevation, and she's using the razor on the outside of that section. She's going from shorter to longer. The fringe does not connect to the length of the haircut, but she is moving that to the front of the ear. You can see she's got a triangular section up and through the fringe now. She's got 45 degrees of elevation on that now while she was using the razor. And then it looks like she's just freehand cutting, getting some blunt edges through there with her scissors. Now back to her razor again. She's surface cutting with the razor with a micro section of the fringe there to the desired length that bevels the edge of the fringe. So it's not just a chunk of hair. It actually softly moves around the total length of the haircut there. Again, 90 degrees, or I should say 45 degrees to over degree. Oh, that's so cute.
I want you to relax and enjoy your time in my chair.
Oh, look at her. She's looking at her phone. She's taking pictures and selfies. Oh, she's so happy. She just got punked right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, so cute. Okay, so let's break this down. I'm going to walk through it just a little bit slower here.
This is my friend.
This is my face framing maintenance 30-minute service. Okay, so this is really just about her fringe period. Now, forward graduation is anytime we're taking the hair and we're moving it in front of the chin. It's usually called teed apart. There's a diagonal back part that happens from the first control point or the first apex of the head to the front of the ear or the back of the ear. It could be either direction. The back of the ear is what establishes what hair hangs in front of the face as the hair that doesn't. But needless to say, that's what she's doing. Elevation looks like she's pulling it straight out from that section, so that's considered 0 degrees.
My cuts are made
as I mentioned earlier, she's not cutting it to the total length of the haircut, so there's disconnection in it. Now, let's stop right there. She's got a triangular section up and through there. I don't know if you saw that, but she's combing this straight off the forehead now. So that technically is not at 0 degrees. That's at 45 degrees, and that's going to cut the surface of that section slightly shorter than the underneath of that section. But of course, we know shorter pushes longer, so that surface is going to be a little bit shorter, flipping the hair off the face, but that also thins out the front of the hair at natural fall. Just cause and effect, not a bad thing or a good thing. We just want to know what we're getting ourselves into. And I love that she's switching between a razor and scissors. So she's back to scissors here. So she's solidifying weight as she's displacing it at the same time, which I think is a good decision.
A fresh fringe.
Fresh fringe gives a whole look.
Gives your whole look a lift.
Okay. Cool. And just kind of, she's just grabbing pieces at this point. It's the inner artist in her, obviously, and just establishing the fringe. Now, I mentioned it earlier. She's cutting the surface of the section with a razor. So if we look at my hands right now, and the top of the section's here, the bottom of the section's there, and I was to move this hand up, this little bottom area is longer, this little area is shorter. And again, that just allows for a little bit more of a flirtatious nature in the fringe. Okay. Takes the weight out of it. It's not technically cut at 0 degrees. And she's pulling it slightly out from the face. Again, just cutting shorter little pieces in there. The fringe already looks really cute. Yeah, it definitely will flatter her facial shape. And she just did a natural blow dry. I don't know if she used any kind of a flat iron in there. It looks really cute. Beautiful, Holly. And your client's stoked. All right, sick. Okay, cool. Let's go to our next one. All right. Oh, Amelia, this girl is amazing. I've done one of her haircuts before. I did it in a short on IG and TikTok, and it's probably here on YouTube as well. This girl cuts, I mean, there's a lot of technical behind it, but she does it in a super loose way. And already just looking at this elevation right now and the section that she's doing, she's got a horseshoe section. Everything's pulled straight up, but let's watch her in a real edited time. All right, so everything's 90 degrees from the center of that section. The sides of the horseshoe are pulled up towards the profile, which builds a concave effect in the haircut. And she was cutting it shorter at the back of that section at the crown, longer up towards the face. And she took it from that connection point in the intersection of the radial and the horseshoe, and now is cutting it from shorter all the way to the longest bit of her length. She's back up in that horseshoe again. It looks like she's just cutting more hair and incorporating more into it. Building into the face frame and the fringe, she initially establishes her shortest point, and she's cutting it diagonally towards the length of the hair using forward graduation. So second time we've seen forward graduation right now. Everything is being held at 0 degrees, but over directed slightly towards the front of the shoulder. Once again, shorter pushes longer. She has chose to use her scissors right now, and everything has been blunt cut. So really, really cool. Moving into the length of the haircut. So we started layers first, then face framing. Now in the length of the haircut, she's cutting a flat line to the round of the head, and she is standing in the center of every single section. Our body position in relationship to the section that we're working on is crucial for consistency and symmetry on both sides. Just connecting that fringe to the length, now getting into one of her famous blow dries. Look at that. That's stunning. Oh my goodness. Wow, that girl's got some serious hair. Just pinching that together for a little curtain fringe action. That is beautiful. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right here. Actually, let me go just a little bit further. All right. Let's pause it right here. So what we can see is that she's taking a center profile section, and that just splits the left side from the right side. And she's gathering hair on each side of that section and bringing it up towards the middle there. That over direction that's happening on the sides of the profile is increasing the length from those areas of the head. That gives us this V shape, and that elongates that section to connect to the perimeter of the haircut. So that's what's happening. She does it rather quickly. Again, as I mentioned before I even started her haircut, one of the cool things about Amelia is that I think that's how you're saying her name, forgive me if it's not, is that she takes very few sections, but her sections are intentional. Her elevation and distribution is intentional, and she's super on point. Certainly somebody that I would highly suggest to follow. All right, cool. So who is this? Kim TP _short. I don't know who this person is. And to be honest, I don't even know what this haircut is. So let's see what we've got. I can tell you right now that we've got a profile section in the back, and her cutting collar, or his cutting collar, I can't tell if it's a male or female, is kind of a grid that you could use, which I think is a pretty smart idea. I kind of like that. Maybe I'll use that idea. I don't know. But profile section, we are right now combing, it looks like the left side out of the way. So left side out of the way, right side out of the way. Now taking an inverted V section. I'm going to pause it right there. An inverted V section takes it from the occipital bone, which is the highest protruding bone in the back of the head, to the mastoid process on each side. And let's run through this whole thing without pausing anymore, Mr. Travis. All right, we've got 90 to over direct. That means everything is coming 90 degrees up from the surface of that section. On the side of that section, whoa, this is moving fast. Oh my God, they're already done with the haircut. Wow. Okay, profile section, inverted V. We are splitting the head into vertical planes, understanding that, okay, we're gonna have to stop this real quick here. All right, let's go back into that. Bam. Okay, we're gonna pause it right there. Okay, so inverted V. So inverted V is isolating the concave area, and let's move forward with this just a little bit so we can get to that area of this haircut. Okay, so inverted V is that upside down V that you see there. That's isolating the concave area of the head from the convex area of the head. Convex area of anything is a protrusion, like a ball. Think about a ball, the outside framing of a ball. Concave is, think about a cave. You walk into a cave, it's negative space, and in the back of every human's head, we have this protrusion area, which is convex area. Then we hit the occipital bone, and then it concaves into the nape of the neck. They have isolated the concave from the convex area of the head, and now they're taking slight diagonal forward lines towards the profile of the back to create what I called initially, as I ran through this, the vertical planes of the head. Now, when you're cutting to the round of the head, you've got to cut to the rotation of the head, left and right. So this is the profile section, then there's the left section, then there's a right section. Initially, it looked like they were going 90 from the surface of that section, and let me just get to it real quick. 90 from the surface of that section, but then it looks like, yeah, they did. So they started off at 90, they pulled it straight out from the top of that section at the occipital bone, and then elevated all the way up to 180. What that does is it cuts the surface of that section shorter. Everything below that drops out of the section entirely into the nape of the neck. So you've got really what we call an inside out haircut. And then they do this cool twist thing. Okay, so now he's got it 90 degrees out from the head. 90 degrees out from the head. You can see the fingertips are right there pretty much at the profile. But then the back of the hand at the knuckles is taking that and increasing the over direction in it, which is going to leave longer length. And everything's being blunt cut. Super cute after effect. I love it. The post haircut is beautiful. Stunning job. Love it, love it, love it. Beautiful. All right, cool. I have no idea who this is. Koa Geolok. I'm totally saying that wrong. I don't even know. I don't know. But I can tell you right now, the pre is really cute. It's a bob. We've got a dropped horseshoe section in there. I can tell you that much right now. All right, we have over direction that's happening around the face. Now we're going 90, 180 to over direct, 180 to over direct. Oh my God, this is going fast. 180 to over direct. And then we're going vertical flat layers, going from a longer point to a shorter point. Oh, we're having trouble playing this video. Wow, that was going crazy fast, wasn't it? Up, and it looks like we're out. Okay, cool. So next video, Jacob Kahn. Now, let me just go back for a second. Everything in that I saw was using over direction, so nothing was held on base. Everything was moving off base, which again, any kind of over direction carries length. So they were clearly going for a lot of layers. On the inside of this haircut, a stronger perimeter throughout the entire cut. This is Jacob Kahn, one of my buds. This is his sister company called Fancy Shears. What's Jacob gonna do? He's got a radial section separating the back from the front. Looks like he's got a profile section. He's going 90 to over direct and cutting shorter to longer. This is traditional concave layers that expands that length. So when it drops over the back there, that meets the total length of the haircut. It looks like he took a diagonal forward section. He's pivoting from the profile, going 90 to over direct again. He's got a guide to length there, so he's clearly grabbing some of the previous section, which makes that a traveling guide. He's gonna drop that down. Jacob's so good at doing hair. It's crazy. An incredible instructor too. And I'm sure you'll, oh, damn. That looks so cute. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, I wish we would have seen the fringe and the rest of the haircut. That is sick. But what I want to point out right now is look at the total length of her hair. It's really long. So when he was trying to build that shorter point with consistency to that longest length, we have to do that V shape, or what we call a concave shape. In some terminology, in some verbiage, it's called inversion as well. So really cute haircut, Jacob. I love that. Dang, she's dope. All right, cool. Next one. Okay, cool. So I think it's Hussein is how you say his name. This guy's got 1 billion trillion followers. He's out of Turkey, Istanbul. I've done one of his videos before. I don't know what he's got going on right there, but it's pretty legit. Like, he's got a comb sitting on the flat of her head to understand the rotation of her head, to find the top apex of the head. Perfectly aligned right now. He happens to have a scissor with that comb that's teed to the comb, and you can really see the transition between the top and the sides, which is also known as the parietal ridge. And then he's got this like compass thing. I've never ever seen anybody do it. But what I love about it is, based upon how wide he makes that or how narrow he makes it, he's really working with facial shapes. So how wide do we want to see, or how much of the face do we want to see? How much do we want to close that face in? And let's break down this haircut and see what he's got going on here. So he is determined that he's got his shortest point, he's got his longest point, and he was connecting those two together. Now cutting it from the temple region. I shouldn't say D anything. Separating the sides from the top, continuing to work that around. This video is really edited out, so we're gonna go through this one more time. That is absolutely stunning. I mean, she's beautiful. That color is incredible. That fringe is really stunning. Okay, so let's pause. So shortest point, now he's cutting the longest point. And what we didn't see is that he probably diagonally connected that one point to the other point. My assumption is he cut that to natural fall, so dropping it over the face, and then cut it to natural fall, connecting the two reference points together. Okay, so now you can see he's got this temple region here, and I've been seeing a lot of hairdressers do this lately. It's so when you pull your hair up or you tuck it behind the ear, you have this nice little whip that comes around the cheekbone, which is really, really cute. The one thing that we do want to be careful of in any kind of sectioning like this is that that is a finer area of the face. We have less hair per square inch typically right there, and that's it. Yeah, so shorter to longer in there, just... Okay, so you saw he was building the shape of the haircut, so what we call the length of the haircut. Looking at her haircut right now, he's cut it to the round of the head. What I can see is that the edge behind the back of the ear, the corner, I should say, behind the back of the ear has been rounded out. Oh, look at that, cutting it from the inside out. So he's using a twist cutting technique and really just shearing over the outside edge of the hair, using a slicing technique to displace weight through that area. He's also over directing everything back to the top apex of the head, which leaves more weight in the front, and it's going to cut it shorter right up and through here, shorter right in through here. When that drops over the face, enables the hair to whip off the face. I think that's the last technical. Wow, that's really cute. This guy's styling is dope, and he's always got really good-looking models. Oh my gosh, Jane. Okay, Jane is absolutely amazing. Let's see what Jane's got. Tons of razor work. I rarely see scissors in Jane's hand. She's one of the best razor, I think, hairdressers out there, period. Okay, she has got... Oh, let's just stop that for a second because it's going to move fast. We've got a horizontal section. So before we were seeing inverted V sections. So she's got a section that's parallel to the actual nape of the neck and combing everything down at 0 degrees using a razor. Now she's cutting the, okay, that's called tipping. So she was initially using planing. Now she's using tipping with the razor, over directing this around the face to get what she calls the petals around this section, diagonal back section at the temple region there. Flipping that around, she just said she loves it, the model there. Jane's styling is so good. Oh, dang, that looks so cute. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Let's watch this beginning part again. The model is owning it, working it. She's so cute. I like her little sweater too. Is your bob feeling bulky and heavy? I've got the answers. Okay, cool. So, oh, she is using tipping right here too. So tipping is you're using the front of your blade. Everything is being held at 0 degrees at Nashville Fall. Forgive me, I thought she was doing planing initially. Tipping there again. And what that does is it gives us a really serrated effect to the actual haircut. And she continues to work that to the round of the head, building a flat line. So cute. And then, yeah, she's got this diagonal back parting here from the temple region to the front of the ear, over directing all that forward, and that's going to give this girl this really cute little like whips around the face. All right, cool. We got 3 more. TG_cut. I don't even know how to say it. Keng Ho. Tony and Guy. That's a brand I used to work for back in the 90s. That fringe is stunning. Okay, so clearly we're doing a dry cut here. At least so far it's dry, and he is just moving that hair around. Maybe just massaging the fringe there to see what it looks like. I don't know. Okay, here we go with the cut. We've got a profile section. We've got a diagonal profile section. We've got a radial section separating the front of the head from the back of the head. We've got a diagonal back section in the front of the hairline there. Okay, yeah, so you see that diagonal back there? That is basically creating what we call a sloping horseshoe, and he's done it in a triangular sense or diamond shape. He's taking everything using vertical flat layers from the top of the head and parallel to the ground, combing all of that straight forward. That cuts that entire area shorter on the surface of the head, as we learned already using forward graduation. Now cutting from the inside out to displace more weight. A lot of freehand cutting, a little bit of a lower level of elevation there. God, that is stunning. Wow, I'm mesmerized. That is beautiful. Look how perfect those little whips are in there. Beautiful, my friend, beautiful. Okay, cool. Oh, I love this girl. I can't think of her first name right now. Is it in there? Passion_Carrie? Maybe it's Carrie? I don't know. She's from Russia, and her work is beautiful. She's more of a colorist than a cutter, at least from what I've seen in her work posted on IG. But needless to say, this girl's styling and aesthetic is legit. Definitely worth a follow. Let's see what we've got. All right, we got a profile section. Now we got an inverted V in the back. We are cutting a concave line shorter at the nape. Holy gosh, this is going fast. We got a concave area at the nape of the neck. She's already blow dried it. Then she's back to cutting, then back to blow dried, back to cutting, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. We're going to have to reverse this. We are going 90 over direct to displace weight through the ends there. Just a beautiful blow dry. Look how cute that bob is. Okay. This just moved way too fast. We're going to have to go back. Sports Center, you failed. Okay, let's pause. Okay, so what you can see is she's going back and forth between a razor and a scissor. We've got a concave line there, so it's shorter up in the center of the back of the head, longer on the sides there. With all due respect, we sometimes build a concave line to get a flat effect because we have a cowlick behind the back of the ear that shrinks that hair up, and when it dries, it looks flat to the head. She's using a razor here, probably just to cut any excess hair off the neck itself, but let's keep going and pause. Yeah, continuing to use that razor. Now, again, this is flipping so fast, it's really hard to reverse engineer the haircut, but she is cutting this to the round of the head. So from the back of the ear forward, she's developing a flat line that's at the same length as it moves to the front of the head. Everything is just combed out of place now, or into place, I should say. Round brushing that out. Look at that volume at the back of the head there. Everything is being pulled straight out from the head. When we blow dry anything straight out from the head, that enables us to create more volume with the haircut. There we go, blow drying all that down. Now she's getting into her dry cutting. So initially the haircut was done wet. She's used scissors and a razor so far. Now she's back to a scissor. She's doing basically what we would typically call a triple clamp technique and horizontal flat graduation when you take the hair and you flip it all the way around, like a full 180 to the hair. So continue to flip it around, and then you either cut into the tips or you cut underneath that section to displace weight through it. So this is just allowing the hair to have a little bit more of a whimsical nature. A flirtatious nature is something that we reference as well. The hair is going to move around a lot more. So, and you can see her shears aren't quite square to the section, and they're not quite flat. They're somewhere in between. When we go straight up and down, we're going to get a softer, more veiny effect to the hair. So you can think of almost like an EKG monitor, a real high and low peak. You're going to get more triangular effects and points to that section. As you start to place the shears flat, you create more of a notching effect, what we call a brick layering technique. Now she's back to the blow dry here on the top of the head. So she's definitely working the distribution of weight and the blow dry and the detailing as she goes. And then she just did the same thing again, a little bit. Okay, so it's back towards the beginning. A little bit of that flat graduation and horizontal flat graduation, just displacing weight from the ends. So in a heavier, more geometric haircut, it's not just a block on the head. So a really good decision. Okay, so I haven't even watched this video yet, but I can tell you right now what's going on is excellent. You see the position of the shear at a 45-degree angle. If you took that entire section of hair that's being pulled out at a 45-degree angle and drop that back down to 0 degrees, that indentation that they're creating with the texturization shears is being cut with the lengths of the hair for this type of sectioning pattern. This is, oh boy, this is another crazy name. Saichiro Kawakami, maybe? I don't know. Wow, look at that displacing of weight. That is probably a 30 or 40% reduction shear. Definitely taking weight. Oh, it just goes over and over again, unless something else changes here. Okay, so let's just watch this over and over again. I think that's great. So you can see the ends and how much weight it's taking from those ends, and that is increasing bulk up at the scalp. So if you wanted to have a little bit more weight up around the head, but really loose ends, almost like tassels, this is an incredible technique. But as I pointed out before we even started the video, what I really love about this is the fact that they are they're using the right angle of the texturization shears. And in a lot of cases, I'll see people use texturization shears and they just sort of cut into the hair, and you get a lot of flyaway and pieces everywhere. Woo! My friends, that is how we break down reels. So thank you for watching the Hairdresser Breakdown. We're going to have a ton more of these videos soon coming up. But my friends, thanks for tuning in. I'm Travis Parker. If you want to check out more of what we do, definitely hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Share this with your friends. Click the notification bells to be alerted of new videos coming up. We have full cutting tutorials that this guy does, and I do with friends as well that do color. We have other shorts in our videos, tons of things for you to watch. And then if you're even more interested and you want to learn more about what it is that we do and where I get this language from, it comes from a system and methodology and certification process that I've written called Hairdressing Made Easy, that is broke down into 3 different courses that we call Cutting Course 1, Cutting Course 2, Cutting Course 3. We have e-courses and e-learning on demand. We have live online courses, and we have in-person trainings here, right here in San Diego. My friends, it was a blast. Thanks so much for tuning in. And until that next video, see you then.